Assume you deposit 100 rupees in a bank at a rate of 10%. What does this exactly mean? We know that 10% of 100 is 10. So if you deposit 100 rupees with a bank, you will get 110 rupees at the end of the year. But what about the second year, the third year, and so on? Let's make 3 columns: the year, the interest, and the total interest at the end of the year. Let's also make a column for the amount for each year. So we have 4 columns now. And remember, the amount is the sum of the principal and the interest. The principal in this case will be the deposit amount, which is 100 rupees. Let's see what happens in year 1. Because you get an interest of 10% from the bank, you will get 10 rupees as interest. What happens if you keep the money with the bank for another year? You will get another 10 rupees as interest. And if you keep the 100 rupees for one more year, you again get 10 rupees as interest. That is simple interest. If you keep your money deposited with a bank, you get the same interest every year. Look at it this way. Your principal will remain in the bank until you withdraw it. At the end of the first year, the bank pays you an interest of 10% on this 100 rupees principal. That's 10 rupees. These 10 rupees will accrue in the bank until you decide to withdraw it. Again, at the end of the second year, the bank pays you an interest of 10% on this principal, 10 rupees. This will accrue until you withdraw it. And 10 rupees accrue again at the end of the third year. Every year, you get an interest on the principal you invested. Now let's look at the total interest column. If you would have taken the money out in the first year, you would have got an interest of 10 rupees. And the amount you would have received is 110 rupees. Remember, amount is the sum of the principal and the interest. If you would have taken the money out in the second year, you would have got 10 plus 10, which is 20 rupees. And amount would equal to 100 plus 20, which equals 120 rupees. And if you would have taken the money out after the third year, you would have got 10 plus 10 plus 10, which is 30 rupees as interest, and an amount equal to 130 rupees. One thing is clear, the longer you keep your money with the bank, the more money you get at the end of the period. So what are the factors that the amount is dependent on? Look closely. It will depend on the principal or the initial deposit. More the money you deposit, more will be the final amount. It will also depend on the rate of interest. If instead of 10% the bank offered you 15%, the amount you receive will be higher. And of course, on the number of years you've deposited the money. If any of these factors change, the amount you would get will also change. This concept we just saw is called simple interest. The interest amount is based on the original principal only. Also notice that the total interest after the second year is twice the interest of 10 rupees, and the interest after the third year is equal to 3 times the interest of 10 rupees. Can we deduce a formula to get the total interest after a few years? Let's consider year 2. We first looked at the principal, which is 100. Since the interest is 10%, we multiplied it by 10 by 100. And since it is the second year, we multiplied by 2. This gives us the interest in the first year, and we multiplied by 2 to get the total interest after 2 years. If you solve this, you will get a 20. And similarly, for year 3, the total interest will equal 100 multiplied by 10 by 100 multiplied by 3. This will give you 30. So based on this concept, we will solve an example in the next video.